There's a generation called Generation Z. Of course, it's between the ages of 6 and 24. They are more global than local. The people who are adapting to the crypto space are more young people. In fact, the projects that have come up, main projects that have come up with cryptocurrency, have come up because of a young generation. So government has to come up with a program to be able to support young people, because I want our generation, our country and Africa to become better, and this is the generation we probably need to support. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're reaching us from. This is Anthony Njoroge Jenga, and this is Business Debut, where we help you grow your business, explore profit, and impact the community positively. And today I want to discuss on two issues. One, we are very hopeful of a generation here that is interesting, and I was just looking at what they're doing, and I'm saying there's a generation called Generation Z. Of course, it's between the ages of 6 and 24. And interesting, and the reason I'm talking to them today is because I need them to be able to step a bit higher, because this is a generation where they prefer social media like Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, websites, and apps. They are mostly on their smartphones, and laptops, desktop, TVs, iPads. They are basically on that platform. So that means technology for them is nothing new, because they have been born in an era where technology is so big. And then 79% of the Generation Z display emotion and stress when kept away from gadgets. And if you move away, like I was watching my nephew, I removed a laptop phone from them, and they start crying because they don't want the gadget to remove for them. They're so used to those gadgets. A quarter of those people have left Facebook, so they're not on Facebook. So they're in either Instagram, they're in IG, Instagram, they're in TikTok, Snapchat, and stuff. That's the generation. So they believe in brands like Amazon, Spotify, PlayStation, and Studio. So they are very good, serious in gaming. They are more tech dependent than our generation. And excited about new ventures in the market. So they're very interested about what's happening in the market. Like, for example, if you look at even the crypto space, the people who are adapting to the crypto space are more young people. In fact, the projects that have come up, main projects that have come up with cryptocurrency, have come up because of a young generation that is very tech savvy. And then most of the Generation Z learn more on security, money, and all that online. They don't learn most from the parents, they learn online. Most of them are seeking unique ways of doing biashara. That's interesting. So there is hope in Generation Z. Remember, it's between the ages of 6 and 24. Now, most of them seek for unique ideas and a way of life, and of course they believe in brands. They're also more entrepreneurial than the rest of us, even more than a millennium. So 55% of them want to go into business than be employed. They're highly motivated and willing to work to achieve their dreams. Why? Because of course they've seen the Elon Musk of this world, they've seen the Jeff Bezos, so they are more online. Interesting thing about them is that they prefer being online than personal communication. One time, sometimes I send my son, I want to call my son to talk to him about something. He sends me a text. It's easier for him to text me than call me. And that's a challenge we'll be facing as the older generation. So they have a clear goal. They have clear career goals, and 60% would rather be employers than employees. 55% of those guys buy their clothes online than offline. That's the generation what? Generation Z. Now, this is where I'm saying there is hope even for our country. More and more brands are connecting with the Generation Z. Why? Because they are more online than offline. Now, the unique thing about these people, they spend 70% of their free time online, on social media, in the best way, in any social media. So they're more online than offline. Now, good thing, and this is what I like about them. You see, like in our past, in our generation, we used to speak a lot of English. Now, we have people like Ghetto Radio who are now speaking a language that is Sheng. So they are more of the Generation Z of Africa are more proud about being Africa than our generation. In fact, like the ones who travel abroad, when they come back, when they're abroad, they now realize the importance of identity. So, and like I was talking to my son, and he was telling me he wants to start writing African stories. That's a serious generation. They want that African story. So they are more inclined to doing things that are more African than West. The West has influenced them a bit, but they're identifying more in their culture. That even today we have Get Radio, they speak a language. If you open Get Radio, they speak a language which I don't understand. Yeah, but that's great. That means there's more identity. Now, the beauty thing about now Generation Z is that they are more global than local. That means they think global. So because they're able to interact with a global community, so that means that's a generation where we can develop more things, because talk about global business is not a big thing, because that's what they do. They're either gaming online, it's foreign. They're either on YouTube, they're either on TikTok, they're either on, and it's an amazing generation. Now, can you imagine if that generation is taught well to become great entrepreneurs, what would happen to Africa? Because they have no barriers, so they're thinking global. It's easy for them to talk to them about new products, because they are keen on learning new products online. They are into fashion. They are more African than our older generation, and they are more proud about their countries more than ever before. That's the generation we need, because then it's easy to tweak their mind to be able to develop things for Africa. Now, the challenge we face with our current government is that we are not supporting that generation effectively. For example, can you imagine like Elon Musk, with all those projects that he's done, a major part of those projects he's done are funded by government. He gets grants. Even Facebook started with a grant. Somebody gave them $60 billion to start Facebook. Can you imagine? No, so that was Amazon. So we don't have a system where we are supporting this generation, because this generation will be able to transform Africa and get us to the next level. Yeah, so we need to train our kids to show them that it's possible to do anything in the world, and the color of your skin does not mean anything. Yeah. Now, why I'm so excited, and I keep saying I'm very excited about cryptocurrency, because cryptocurrency removes color. It's a flat bed. Anybody from anywhere in the world can start any project and can be funded from anywhere in the world. You don't have to, we've been trying to get funds from abroad. And one of the things we are being told is that we need to have a white nose in our board for us to get funding. Can you imagine that you need to have a white nose on your board to get funding from abroad? With cryptocurrency and the new development in the market, this will not be able to be possible, because we don't talk about color. In fact, the KYC, which is know your customer, we don't have a face of the person. It's just a number. Yeah. So this generation is a generation that needs to be encouraged, and we want to be able to support them as much as possible so that they can be able to change Africa, and Africa can be better. Now, can you imagine? This is what is most difficult. Can you imagine? It's easier. Now I'm talking about now government. Can you imagine? It's easier to import things from Kenya than export. Last week, I was trying to get a product to Korea, South Korea. Somebody is exporting about $1 million shillings out of Kenya to Korea to get dollars back. The system in KRA and the system in Kentrade cannot speak to each other for somebody to get a license to export. Yet it's so easy to export in Kenya. These are the kind of problems we face in this country. Now, this kind of generation that understands technology will be able to help us sort these issues, because government needs to support exports. Yet it's difficult to export than import. Can you imagine? Yeah. So we need to have a system where we are funding this young generation to be able to make more money for the country and develop the country appropriately. Yeah. So another thing I want to discuss is, can you imagine most of the businesses, like now in the US, businesses like General Motors, businesses like Tesla. When Tesla and General Motors were going down, do you know who funded them? It was government. Government funded General Motors and Tesla, not Tesla. Yeah, it was Ford. Actually, when there was a recession, they supported those companies for them not to collapse. Now, look at Africa. When you have people like Nakumat, Tuskys, and that are collapsing or having issues collapse, instead of government supporting them, they let it collapse. So we lose an opportunity to support entrepreneurship. So the young people don't have a mentorship program to see, oh, these are companies that have been able to do very well, yeah, and have grown. So we don't have a proper mentorship program and support our own entrepreneurs. So the call is we need to have a system where we are supporting our entrepreneurs. For example, if somebody is doing a website or an app, you cannot go to the bank and get money from the bank. Why? Because they need security, and an app cannot be a security. So we need to have a program where we are supporting the SME, this generation, with a proper funding, so they can be able to grow their businesses to the next level, because they are more global than they're local. They're thinking brands, and like what we were thinking in our past, they're thinking about doing businesses online, which is now the next big thing. They need to be on the New York Stock Exchange, having serious companies. So we need to support this generation, yeah. And so government has to come up with a program to be able to support young people, Generation Z, which is our future. Great. Once again, my name is Anthony Njoroge Jenga. I'm excited because I want our generation, our country, and Africa to become better. And this is a generation we probably need to support. Once again, this is Anthony Njoroge Jenga from Business Debut, where we want to grow your business, explode your profit, and impact the community positively. Thank you, and God bless.